The booth as well, ready to bring you all the action. Up first, the affordable towing and recovery Thunderstocks with their first qualifying heat, brought to you by Caledonia Auto Supply.
And 8 laps will be the distance on this one. Starting on the pole from Hamilton, the 0x0, that's Mike Ferguson. Starting second from Oshwekin, the number 66 is Brady Longboat. Starting third from Brantford, number 13 is Casey Huffman. Starting fourth from Brantford, the 911 is Nick Liverance. Starting fifth from Caledonia, the number 93K, Mike Klazinga. Starting sixth from Jerseyville, the number 53, that's Logan Schwedick. Starting seventh from Binbrook, the number 68, Jens Mortensen. Starting eighth from Six Nations, the 93 is Melissa Miller. And starting ninth from Hagersville, number 23, Trevor DeBoer. Bringing up the tail from Brantford, the number 40 is Derek Liverance. We'll go with 10 cars scheduled to go in this one. See a few stragglers joining the field and a couple not going to make it. 28 Thunderstocks signed in tonight. We will not have a B main, so everybody will transfer to the feature. But only the top 6 will get their handicapping points. So the lineup will be juggled here. Looks like 8 cars of the 10 making the call as they crawl very slowly down the back straightaway. Casey Huffman on the pole had a very good run last week. Won a heat race and got up into the top 10 in the feature.
Kyle McKenzie up on the flag stand, ready to bring the first green flag in the night as we get going here in the affordable towing and recovery Thunderstocks. Green flag in the air. Brady Longboat will win the shootout at the draw, and he'll lead them down into corner number 1.
So Longboat's got the lead for the moment. Derek Liverance is going to try to follow him through as the top side looks to be the quick way so far. Huffman, a little bit of smoke out of the 13 car as he fights off Liverance in the second spot.
Brady Longboat leads it across the stripe for lap number 1 with Huffman in second. Liverance right there in the third spot. The lone car to take hot laps tonight. Logan Schwedick is right there in the fourth spot with Trevor DeBoer making a run on the inside for fourth.
DeBoer really shouldn't be in the first heat race. He's just had some bad luck the first couple weeks, but that is a quick car that we should see in the second or third heat race in a few weeks here as he gets to the inside now on Schwedick. Almost beating and banging there, but they managed to stay off each other.
Through corners 1 and 2, they go another time with Longboat leading the way over Huffman. And again, as you mentioned, Tommy, that 13 machine running a lot better here this year. Good run last week, as you said. He's holding his own here right now in second.
Huffman doing what he needs to do to get up into a handicap spot for feature starting positions. Most of these cars will start up in the top 5 to 10 if they can get up into a handicap spot here. And again, that's the top 6 we're looking for the handicapping.
And to corner number 3 they go with Brady Longboat leading the way. Cross flags are in the air, says Kyle McKenzie, halfway through this first qualifying heat. Brought to you by Caledonia Auto Supply.
So 4 laps in and 4 to go. Brady Longboat looking for his first heat race win of the year. He's got a good lead over Huffman right now as Liverance is holding off Trevor DeBoer for the third spot. Then Schwedick behind them as they continue to run single file. DeBoer making small gains on Liverance there in the third spot.
5 laps into the record books. 3 left to go in this one with Longboat leading the way over Huffman. Liverance right now sitting in that third spot. DeBoer firmly in fourth. Schwedick in fifth, and now Melissa Miller. Make that Mike Klazinga. We'll go by the Mortensen car, which heads into the pit area.
Longboat with, as you might imagine, the fastest lap so far of the heat race at 20.4. Nobody's been better than a 20.6 other than him so far. So Longboat, the class of the field right now in that 66 car.
Coming to the white flag for Brady Longboat, who's been strong in that Camaro. He'll see the white flag from Kyle McKenzie. One more trip around here in Caledonia Auto Supply. Heat race number 1, Huffman holding down the second spot.
He is for now. Liverance has started to gain a little bit as he pulls away from DeBoer. And Liverance drops it down a lane. Can't get much traction there, though. And he will settle for third here, it looks like.
Off of corner number 4 for the final time. Checkers will go in the air. The first winner of the evening will be Brady Longboat in the 66.
So Longboat gets the win. Second's Huffman. Third is Liverance. Fourth will be DeBoer. Fifth is Klazinga. Then it's Schwedick with a problem or flat right rear right at the line, but he will not hold on to the 5th spot. That'll go to Miller in the 93. Then it's Schwedick and the rest of the field. Heat race number 2, starting on the pole from Oshwegan, the number 13X, that's Craig White. Starting second from Binbrook, the number 16, Jeremy Mays, got that car put back together after a hard crash last week. Starting third from Caledonia, a feature winner already this year, that's the number 8 of Ryan Dinning. And starting fourth from Hagersville, the rookie driver who got up onto the podium last week, number 7, Jason Langaro. Next to him, the number 25 from Hamilton, that's Ken Sargent. From Brantford, the number 1, that's Chris Dickey. From Caister Center, number 28 is Jim Lampman, who led a portion of last week's feature. Then it's the 56 from Hamilton, Derek Lemaire, and the 777X from Oshwegan, Steve Hess. So 9 cars, 8 laps of distance here in Burger Barn, heat race number 2.
Green flag is up and in the air. Jeremy May will win the drag race down the front stretch, leads him into corner 1 as they all fan out right behind him, going for that second spot.
This is what we're used to in the Thunderstock division. None of that single file stuff of these guys fan out here, going for the top 6 spots again for handicapping. Dinning now to the inside already on your leader, Jeremy May.
Jeremy May leads the way over Dinning. Then Dickey right now runs in that third spot. Derek Lemaire, the veteran, on the outside line, trying to make a line. Now he gets down into the inside of the one of Dickey as they drag race into corner number 3. It's side by side for the lead as well.
Jeremy May on the top, Dinning in the middle. There's room for another car down there. Derek Lemaire's trying to get on his horse and make it a 3-car fight for the lead.
Into corner number 1 they go another time with Ryan Dinning leading the way. Derek Lemaire right there on the inside line trying to get by Jeremy May for second. They'll go wheel to wheel into 3 another time. Lemaire in the Burger Barn 56, May in the 16.
Lemaire gets a better run out of corner 4, and he'll take the second spot away from Jeremy May. Then it's Chris Dickey, Ken Sargent in that unnumbered car there. Meanwhile, Dinning had an issue there. It looks like he might have it back underway, but loses several spots back to 4th and now back to the 5th spot as Ken Sargent, his teammate, gets around him.
I believe the 8 car has a flat tire. It might be the right rear on that machine as Ryan Dinning comes down the front straightaway. We'll have a look, and yeah, the right rear sneaker is blown apart. So that will give Derek Lemaire the lead with Jeremy May in second. Chris Dickey right now running in third. Now Ken Sargent marches his way up to 4th.
Sargent was involved in that crash on the opening lap last week in the Thunderstock division, got the car back together. Meanwhile, ahead of him, there's a fight for second between Chris Dickey and Jeremy May now as those two go at it out of corner 2.
Dickey on the inside of the 16 of May going into corner number 3. Dickey trying to use that inside line to his advantage. It's 2 to go for the leader, Lemaire. And now Chris Dickey, by a fender, has second spot.
So Lemaire's got a big lead now. Dickey trying to get around Jeremy May and up into that second spot, but May fights back on the top side. They're going to be door to door in corner 3.
The big white Camaro sees the big white flag. One more trip around for the Burger Barn 56. Chris Dickey right now in that car number 1 sits in the second spot. May back in third, but that battle long from over is now Ken Sargent into the mix.
Derek Lemaire a lot quicker than the rest of this field. 5/10 quicker was his best lap than anybody else, and he'll come around out of corner 4 and get the win in heat race number 2, brought to you by Burger Barn. Second is Chris Dickey, third is Jeremy May, 4th Ken Sargent, 5th will be Jim Lampman, 6th is Longaro, 7th is Hess, 8th will be Craig White, and then 9th will be Ryan Dinning. It'll be fun to watch him coming from the 20s in our feature later on.
Third and final qualifying heat brought to you by starting lineup.
Starting in the pole of heat race number 1, he was up in the fight for the feature last Friday. From Dundas, the number 81 is Carl Salt. Starting second from Port Colborne, that's the 11R Bryce Richardson. Starting third from Cambridge, the 04 is Wyatt Van Wert. Starting 4th from Caledonia, the number 48, Mike Graham. Starting 5th from Jarvis, the number 88 is Dale Jacari. Starting 6th from Hagersville, the points leader, that is the 49 of Dave Bailey. Starting 7th from Caledonia, his first night out this year, that's the 119 of Sean Quinn. Also making his first start of the season, the number 14, John Lowenberg from Caledonia. And scheduled to start at the tail, the number 38 from Oshwegan is Terry Martin.
So troubles for Wyatt Van Wert over in corner number 2. Belts, so it's a safety issue, so the track official is able to go in there, help Wyatt get things set in place, and because it is a safety issue, he will maintain his starting position, so he'll go back to where he was. If it had been a mechanical issue, obviously he'd either go to the pits or to the back of the pack, but safety is always first, and if the driver does stop to get that attended to, then he does get his spot back as well.
So it's a good break for last week's feature winner, Wyatt Van Wert. The 04 will get his starting spot back.
Coming to the green flag in this one, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. We'll bring him in to call this one with Tommy Gooch. Oh, he's got a dead battery, so we'll hear from Clinton a little bit later on. Green flag is in the air. Carl Salt and Bryce Richardson, they drag race down into corner number 1.
Well, this is your fast car heat. Expect a lot of side-by-side racing here. Look at Dave Bailey. Thought better of trying to get in between Dale Jacari and Mike Graham there. Had to back out of it, but again, the space opens up for him down in corner 3 and 4.
Across the stripe for the first time, Carl Salt will be the leader in the Great Lakes Brewery's number 81. Then you've got that 11 machine, very beautifully painted, number 11R, Bryce Richardson in that second spot. Wyatt Van Wert right there in third, and Dave Bailey, defending point champion, going on the outside looking for third.
Might be more than belts an issue on the 04 of Wyatt Van Wert. Some smoke out of that green machine, but he continues to hold the third spot for the moment as Bailey's still looking for a way around on the top side.
Down the back stretch they go. Bailey gets a good run in that 49 machine. The Brewster Baker paint scheme is into the third spot, and now he'll make a charge on the outside of Bryce Richardson. We heard Dave say earlier on this year that he's committed, fully committed to the outside line, and on most nights, this is what we see.
And Dave told us over the offseason you have to put a different gear in the car to run the top side effectively. Looks like he's got that one in the rear end of that car tonight as it's really zipping around the top side. He gets around Richardson now for the second spot and still has 4 laps to go to try to get around Carl Salt.
Here he comes to the outside of the 81 of Carl Salt as they go into corners 1 and 2. Bailey's got that car wound up on the outside line. Salt got a little loose off at corner 2. That allowed Bailey to pull up alongside and grab the lead into 3.
Bailey's last lap was the quickest lap of the night out of all 3 heat races so far, as he still has the lead over Carl Salt for the moment, but Salt hanging tough on the inside.
All sorts of smoke out of the back end of the Johnny Lowenberg, number 14. Saw him last Saturday night at the Merrittville Speedway, and now having some bad luck here tonight.
So Bailey's got the lead solidly over Salt now as they'll come down and get the 2 to go signal from our flagman Kyle McKenzie. Salt holding second, but starting to fall back. Looks like there may be some sort of issue on the 81 of Salt as he's dropped back a good portion from Dave Bailey and now very sideways out of corner 2.
That corner seems to be giving the 81 all sorts of fit. Carl Salt gets that rear end of the 81 machine sideways almost every time off of 2. That's allowed Richardson and now Dale Jacari as they bump draft down the front stretch to try and get by the 81.
Well, Bailey's gone out front, but a very good race going on for the second spot. 4 cars involved in that one as Van Wert is still up in there with that smoke out of the 04. Bailey will come around and get the win in Metalworks Powder Coating Heat Race number 3.
Dale Jacari will grab second, Bryce Richardson third, fourth will go to Wyatt Van Wert, then fifth will be Carl Salt in the 81. Then it's Sean Quinn in the 119, the 48, Mike Graham. And the 38 of Terry Martin. Good to see the 38 back here tonight as the safety crew attends to Johnny Lowenberg down there in that number 14 machine. So we get ready for the first qualifying heat for the Patriot Sprint Tour versus the Cool Kids Core Pack Sprint Cars, and now the voice of the Patriot Sprint Tour, new voice in 2016, Mr. Paul Harkenrider.
Exciting here in about 3 weeks we're going to launch our first ever kids box meal where the kids will get some great boneless Pinty's chunks, some great healthier options, and some hero cards, some trinkets from our good friends at Jibs. So we're excited to bring that out. Probably have that out in about 3 weeks' time. It'll be our kids' box meal. And as we get to go green, don't forget to mention Mark Zuba. He's been away 2 weeks in a row now. He sent me a message that's absolutely killing him, but they're setting up that new Jib store. Let's talk about him when we get crates, guys. Please remind me. But we're set to go green here. 27 cars now, ready to bring the field to life, and they are on it. Longboat will lead them to the green.
Yeah, the Thunder will roll down into corner number 1 for the Thunderstocks. Affordable towing and recovery Thunderstocks get the green flag. 4 wide through the second corner as they go down the backstretch.
Longboat with a 2-car length advantage overhead of Casey Huffman. Now watch the middle of the pack, folks. The guys who started up front will start to fade to the back. The fast guys will start to move to the front. And we are 4 wide down the front straightaway just like that.
Liverence, Lungaro, Schwedek, and May all go 4 wide as they dance it through the corners. Derek Lemaire doing a nice job weaving his way through the field.
Keep your eye on the veteran, Ken Sargent. Multi-time Maryville Speedway champion in the 25. Moving up into 4th spot. Started back around 10th, I believe. Oh, Longaro gets together with May. And they scrub each other up going into 1.
A lot of cars in 5 wide now as they go off the second corner. Lemaire in the middle had to back out of the throttled. Smart move there as they continue 4 wide off the 4th corner. All this is for the 5th spot.
Oh, man. Bailey slipping it up on the inside, the defending and reigning champ going to the inside. Dickey trying to stay off Wyatt Van Wart as Richardson and Lemaire come to the inside. Now Jeremy May down the middle of the back straightaway as we talk about that. Sargent working on Huffman for 2nd.
Brady Longboat, your leader. Sargent in the 2nd spot. Huffman in 3rd. And right now Liverence holding down 4th. But it's a storm in behind him. Sult and Bailey side by side. Give Bailey the line on the inside for a change as he looks to get into the top 5.
Keep your eye on Ryan Denning sliding his way through the pack here in the number 8, up about halfway through now, but up front, Longboat still leading. Sargent, Huffman, Bailey all the way to 4th with Salt running in 5th.
Down the back stretch goes Brady Longboat. And the 25 of Ken Sargent. They're on cruise control right now. Have no idea what's going on behind them. Things getting a little strung out now from 3rd on back as now the leaders will catch the lap machine.
Sargent tiptoeing off the bottom line. Here comes Salt and Bailey to gang up on Casey Huffman as they will take him 3 deep into 3 this time. The smoking Mike Ferguson right in front of the leaders. And Longboat takes a different path out of 4, and it's going to cost him. Here comes the Sarge.
Sargent on that inside line, digging towards the 66 of Longboat as they go down the backstretch. Salt and Bailey side by side, and we've got a yellow flag out on the speedway for the 7H of Adam Hallett up in corner number 4. Flat left rear, it looks like, on the 7H.
Yeah, and I mean, it's too early to speculate what could have caused that for Adam Hallett, but I will. I'll take a guess at it, Greg. I got to think, being an asphalt car, you know, if the fenders are kind of down.
Salt. We'll see how this shakes out as Bailey starting on that outside line, the line that he likes so much. But he was getting it done early on in this feature, working that inside line. So we'll see where he decides to go as we come back to the green flag. Longboat will set the pace up in 4. And we're back underway here in the Affordable Towing and Recovery Thunderstock A-Main.
Salt wasted no time. He sniffed up the inside, but thought better of it. Now Sargent looking for the inside run, but he'll have to stick on the outside. Try and come around Longboat, but there's not much bite up there. Salt will be the new leader in 3. 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide for the lead. They're 4 wide for the 5th spot as you've got the 13 of Huffman in the middle right there. He's got Lungaro on the bottom, Liverence on the high side.
Jeremy May running up the front stretch wall all the way down, and that's going to give him mechanical issues. He will head back to the pits. No, he's just trying to keep it off the wall up there at the top now. Carlson, oh, big problem to the back straightaway.
Huffman and Liverence go around Dickey through the infield.
And that is not the pleasant way to get through there either. Dickey with issues in the 1 car now also. Mud plug out on the back straightaway, Chris Dickey. Tough break for Dickey. Man, he's going to have to go all the way to the back for trying to avoid that one through the infield.
So we'll restack them as you see Casey Huffman with some nose cone damage on the 13 machine. Chris Dickey back out on the track after an excursion into the infield as photographer Peter Anderson heads to the Porta-John to check himself after that close call, I'm sure, in the infield.
Casey Huffman will take the 13 car to the pits. Salt and Bailey just pulled the ultimate sneak attack on Sargent, Greg. You know, he's running along. He's like, hey, me in the 66. I got this guy covered. Hills that. It's a Pontiac, Glenn. We know it. We know it. Field doubling up here at the back. Only about 6 more to go in this one.
No, still a ways to go, eh?
So 11 laps left with Carl Salt, Dave Bailey bringing them back to the green flag. Kyle McKenzie throws the green, and we're back at it here in the Affordable Towing and Recovery Thunderstock Game 8.
Carl Salt on the inside, the defending champ Dave Bailey on the outside. Sargent looking to get himself up a few spots on the podium tonight as he runs good in the 25, but here comes Derek Lemaire in the Burger Barn 56.
Salt pinned to the inside line, coming to the cross flags, 10 in, 10 to go. Dave Bailey all over the back end of the 81. He'll switch up back to the outside lane. Now dives down to the inside. We'll get a run on Salt. Off of corner 2, we'll go for the lead down the backstretch.
Derek Lemaire uses the bottom of 2 to hold on to third as him and Sargent tangle going into 3. That's going to bring Dinning and Longboat back to the fight, and here is Dave Bailey with the lead here on lap number 11.
Brewster Baker back out in front. Salt right there hanging in the second spot. Then it's a couple of car lengths back to Derek Lemaire. Ken Sargent right now in position number 4, and it's Ryan Dinning. Started all the way in the back. He's up to 5th now.
Sargent and Dinning work on each other's cars very handily, and around the outside, 4 wide just behind them with Longboat, Richardson, Van Wart, and up on the top, Longaro.
Down the back stretch they go another time with Bailey your leader, Carl Salt in second, Lemaire in third, Sargent 4th. Dinning started 26th and is in the 5th spot. 3 wide right now for position number 6. On the inside is Richardson. Wyatt Van Wart in the middle.
Salt threw all he had at Bailey there, and it actually worked, and he's going to take a run at him here out of 2. Coming into this one, Salt found something going into 1 that time, and he's challenging on the inside of Bailey.
14 laps into the books, this time by 6 laps remain for Dave Bailey. Carl Salt, though, hanging right onto the back bumper of that 49 machine. As they work it down the backstretch, they'll catch the lap car of Casey Huffman.
Salt a little bit wilder than Bailey, and it's not paying off here, as Bailey, smoother and steady, is starting to pull away a little bit from Salt, but he made up some of the ground that time as they work to the inside of Casey Huffman.
The leaders get the big high five. 5 more trips around for Brewster Baker. Dave Bailey leading this one over Carl Salt. Jeremy May will be the next lap car in line. Will he cause any problems for the leader?
May smoking heavily out of the 16, this time down the front straightaway. Bailey getting a full whiff of it here as he works to the inside once more. Coming for 3 to go. Next time the leaders cross the stripe, it'll be 17 up with 3 to go. Carl Salt trying to find the pepper to come after Bailey.
Off of corner number 4, Bailey continuing to lead. They catch the smoking car of Jeremy May. Bailey on the inside line, Salt right there in tow. Derek Lemaire ever so quietly gaining a little bit of ground on the top 2, but running out of time.
Yeah, he'll need a yellow here as we come off of turn 4. 2 to go for the defending and reigning champ, Dave Bailey. May sees the leaders coming by, and he will keep it straight to the outside. Here comes Salt, still rolling it up after the leader.
Now the 81 really dove down in deep in corner number 1. Let's see what he does in 3 this time. Really digging deep into the corner. Bailey smooth, though, going off of corner number 4. White flag in the air. One more time around. Who's going to take home the checkers tonight?
Carl looked that time and it's like, just a little kiss. Anything to get him upset, just a little bit would help me out. He's got some ground on him here. One final time. Can Salt make it work?
Lap cars right in front. Salt wobbled just a little bit into corner number 3. Checkers will come out. Dave Bailey will take the win over Carl Salt. And then Derek Lemaire will come home in 3rd. 4th will go to Wyatt Van Wart. And Bryce Richardson will cap off the top 5 of the Affordable Towing and Recovery Thunderstock feature event. A good one there. So we had troubles with Ken Sargent up in corner number 2. But going to victory lane, Dave Bailey in the Gibbs Action Sports number 49. Brewster Baker will pull it down into mobile
9. Here he comes out of the car now. Put your hands together for your feature winner tonight, Dave Bailey. Dave going to head over and give Carl Salt a shake of the hand there. A good, clean race between those two. Dave's a little out of breath down here. That was a hard-fought win over Carl, though. You had to know he was right behind you.
Yeah, I did. He loves it down there, and I don't like it down there so much, but I knew he liked it down there, so I had to go down there and try and take it away from him.
Well, a good points night for you, but this early in the season, you're probably not thinking about points so much, are you?
Nah, it'll happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I got to thank everybody who helped put this thing back together last week. It was a pretty big mess there in the first lap, and we managed to get that thing back out and finish 6th. So that's where you make your points up. It's not winning. It's making the best of the bad ones.
Who do you want to thank for getting you up here on the podium tonight?
I thank Mark and Cheryl at Jibs, Johnny at Window Works, and Jen and Coop at Club 54.
There he is. That's Dave Bailey. He's your feature winner tonight here in the Thunderstock division. We'll head over and get Clinton to have a word with Carl Salt.
Carl, what a battle there. I mean, we watched you very excitingly throw that at Dave about 5-6 solid laps, went into 1 and 3. Throwing it all you had, giving it. You were that close. Looked like you just need a couple more feet.
Yeah, I got underneath him once, but he pulled me coming down the straightaway, which is like so close to get it back. But I tried my best, and he got it again.
Looked like a wild race out there in the beginning, but you guys survived. Talk about the early laps.
I just kind of stayed low and hid until it cleared up, and then I went for it.
Good job, man. There he is. Carl Salt grabs second tonight. We'll jump over here and talk to Derek Lemaire. Derek, let's talk about the Burger Barn's done this year. Huge splash for Jason Hillen and what's going on with everybody at the Burger Barn. How proud are you to be part of that team?
Oh, I'm thrilled. It's probably the greatest opportunity I've ever had in my 20-some-odd years of racing. Jason Hill and the Burger Barn, it's not just what they do for my teammates and I, but he's a great big supporter for the Speedway and all of racing, and it's great.
Absolutely, helping us bring Casey Kane here. Let's talk about your drive tonight. Wild Affair, you saw a lot of it, at times 4 or 5 wide.
Yeah, it was crazy, but there was no big wrecks. That was good. Everybody kind of held their own, and happy to be here.
Good job. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Lemaire will grab third tonight. How about a hand for your top 3? Dave Bailey, Carl Salt, and Derek Lemaire. Keep it going for all the Thunderstockers who we have here racing today. What a great show they put on each and every week for us.
As we prepare for tonight's 20